Hello everybody, it's Carl here, and going to do a nice tune on the banjo. I'm in a D tuning. It's an old tune from Gus Theo Clark, the Wimbush Rag. And it's a little bit, the banjo can be tricky figuring out what tuning to play something in. This is a D tune, but it has a lot of A in it. And I was trying to feature the A chord, and I even tried an A tuning, and it sort of worked. And even tried Charlie Pool tuning, it sort of worked. And it was really good for the backup. And it depends on if you're doing more backup than melody, you might, consider that in your tuning choice. But I ended up trying it in just a D tuning, and even though it's an A chord, I was trying to first suggest the chord. Then I decided, just doing the single string. If you got a rhythm instrument or a fiddle, you're going to hear that anyway. So here's what I came up with. I'll do it kind of easy going, and then we'll break down the parts for you. I think you'll have a lot of fun working out the Wimbush Rag in the key of D. So. Tried to play it high there. You could work out a nice first string feature there and get that part. I think I need to work on that a little bit more. But let's go ahead and start breaking down the parts here. It's a two-part tune, and like I say, it goes to the A chord a lot there, which is kind of neat. And the backup, though, the old recording, he does it a bunch of different ways. He turns it every which way but loose, and some really interesting guitar backup. Some of it works better than others, but to check out the old recordings on Slippery Hill of Gus Theo Clark, I think it'd be there, and the Wimbush Rag, and see, give you some ideas for the backup. So the chord wise, it's just A to a D, I think is what he does some, which I kind of like. And then of course the second part is G to a D, G and A. It's kind of a basic that works with the melody pretty good. So like I say, I didn't try to get the A sound so much as just the first string melody. So the first phrase is going to have that 5th fret as a note, and then hammer 5 to 7, back to 5, and a pull off on 2 to open, and then you feature that second string D note, and a drop thumb, open first and second, and that, and you could get the 5th fret on the first string, or I'm just hitting the 5th string here. It depends on what sound you like. Here's the with what I just played there one time. So you get a nice ring there. You could also go. You could slide there too, but I kind of like the ring of the 5th string. So here's the first phrase, nice and slow. 1, 2, 5th fret, hammer 5, pull off, 5th string, cool. And then let's do that same phrase again. That's the same phrase. Again, the chords are going from A to D, so we can talk about how you might, if you want to get an A chord sound with another string, we can talk about how to do that too. But let's just do the same thing again for a second. You're going to have a different turnaround here. It's going to be so the first time is 5th string, second time is set to that D 2nd string note. Okay, so let's do those two phrases a few times there. Wimbush Rag in the key of D. That's and again, you can kind of hit when it's in the part where it has a D chord, you can kind of reach down there and grab some of those low D chord tones, which sounds good. And you could actually play sometimes the way he starts out, he plays a D chord starting out with the first phrases, and a longer D, and then goes to A. So experiment. You might find a whole different way you like to do it. But the melody note, starting with the melody note, and here it goes in something like this. 1, 2, 3, go. Hammer, pull off, 5th string, just slide. Second string, right? And it's going to do that again. Fifth string. So that's pretty easy first part. And something you can keep in mind that's a nice thing to do when you have a lot of that second string, you could almost incorporate a slide there. There, like say. So you can throw a little slide from 2 to 5 on that third string. Do it every time. I'd probably save that for one spot in the first part, you know, because if you do it every time, they get this. It becomes ho hum, you know. So you don't want to become ho hum. But let's do it. Let's see where we can throw that in. Maybe so 5, pull off. Maybe here. Maybe the second phrase might be good. You might save it for the last phrase. Let's see. Save it for the very last time, you know, the repeat of that. And then the second part gets to be a lot of fun. That's where the 4 chord arrives, our G chord. And you're working that third string, and you can do a little hammer. And you have a little pull off there. So you have a little hammer down to that 4th fret on the low string, your 4th string. So hammer that third string to open 2, pull off, and down to that 4th fret, okay? Try that a couple times. 1, 2, the second part, G chord, pull off 4. Then you got to work that to, you're in a D chord, but you can kind of work the middle string. We're going to have an open pull off. Let's just try a little open pull off on the second string. Try that third string, and pick the third string again, and pull off with your second finger on the second string open. You just practice that a few times. 1, 2, and. Yeah. It's going to go again, do that same thing we did, pull off to 4. So listen to that couple of phrases put together there and patched together. Here's what it sounds like. Open, pull off, same old. And then back to this G chord again with a hammer. It's going to climb up, and again, we're getting back to the same territory we were in on the first part. So listen to that much. That's half of the second part. 1, 2, hammer the G chord, third string, pull off. Climb up that. And you can hit a bass, low bass there if you like, right? Be kind of cool. So let's do that again. 1, 2, second part. Open, pull off. Then you have a 2-beat measure there. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You can hit a low bass or something there. Then you have the same thing. And then here we're going to have a nice, and we don't have all the room to go. The fiddle goes booba dooba boom, boom goes lower than we can go. So we have to kind of go and climb up. We'll have that slide from 2 to 5 we were using earlier. So here's the second half of the second part with that low variation. Same here. Just try that little 4 pull off, open, and 2 pull off, open. Sounds like a lot of, right? Liza James. So anyway, we have that. Then we're going to go up to that 2, 5, pick 2 in the slide, and another 2-beat measure. And then the finish of the second part's going to be, add a little 3rd fret, a little variation, 2 beats there, and you're back to the first part. So let me play the whole second part. I'm kind of moving fast for you, but here's the whole second part, kind of nice and slow. It's so pretty. It's a really pretty second part. Open, pull off. 2 beats. 2 beats. 2 beats. First part. pretty. What I think I'll recommend to try, since we're adventurous here, is to play that second part up high on that first string, which I tried to do. I hadn't really worked it out, but it'd be a nice thing to do, going that. So you're kind of working that 7 to 2, and remember you can get on the third string the 9th fret, so you can do it there too. So you got to get 5, 2nd fret 1st string, or the 9th fret 3rd string, same note. So you can experiment with that. Let's do it all on the 1st string. 7s back and forth to 5th string to 2, then 5 and 7 to 2, 7. Then you got that high. You know, so that's up here on 14 and 12 and 14 and 10. So that's cool. So it's like 5 and 7, 2, 7, and up to that high, a little 2 beats. Then you have that. You can find where to do that. I'd kind of leave out some of that. Sometimes the banjo can leave out some stuff. You want the 14, 12, and 7, 10. And then you got the 3rd phrase. Then you got, it's supposed to be da 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 da. I think it's almost too much trouble. I think I just go 12, a little pull off. Try this 4. I'm holding that 10th fret and pulling off my little finger from 14. Then just get, so the whole high variation just for fun. And this is something you could dabble with and make it your own there. You know, do some on the 3rd string, or I'm gonna do it all on the 1st string. 1, 2, last try for me. 5, 7, 2, 7. Seven, 10, 2 beats. Right, then you're back to the start. And that low variation, I'll do it one more time because it sounds a lot. The first part on the low is really nice. I'm holding that A chord note down if you like, just to get that A chord sound if you want it. And you got to pull off, open, pull off, and then you're going to have the 4th fret with the open pull off. So you have pull off, pull off. So that's a lot of left hand work. Then back to our regular second part for the big finish. So that's the Wimbush Rag, and really fun on the banjo, and we're kind of letting the chord work, not trying to get too much of a big chord strum in there. I worked out kind of one that had a lot more chord in it, but I think it's almost more work than it's worth. I think just that single string stuff with the plays low nicely, but those A chords, or this, it's almost more work than it's worth, but that's neither here nor there. The banjo player just has to keep noodling and finding what works the best with the fiddler. And anyway, I think the Wimbush Rag's a great tune. I hope you enjoy it. And just keep on picking something there. Take care.